Welcome into this breaking news edition of the Illini Cast. We are a mere hour and 45 minutes from the tip between Illinois and the EIU Panthers, and there is some breaking news for the Illini. Ty Rodgers, he will redshirt this year. Yes, Ty Rodgers will redshirt. The wing depth of the Illini is rather large right now with Will Riley, Trey White, and KJ all in the fold, and I don't think Ty Rodgers saw much playing time, or he saw a chance to where he can go to a different program and be a part of that particular program because this is a situation where, yes, Ty Rodgers is great defensively. You look at what he does defensively, and you're like, this is exactly what an everyday guy is. This is exactly what the intangibles are that Brad Underwood looks for in a forward, in a guy that plays basketball. And Ty Rodgers deciding to redshirt. It's a little bit of a surprise that we just now heard about this 2 hours before the tip, but maybe that's due to respect of Ty Rodgers and knowing that this would impact the preseason for the Illini, and Ty maybe didn't want this to get out. But timeline of these events. About whenever the availability report came out for the Illinois and EIU Panthers, this is a Big Ten mandatory thing where you report injuries and different reasons why guys might be out or questionable and everything, similar to the NFL injury report. Ty Rodgers fell on the injury report, and then Jeremy Warner tweeted out that Ty Rodgers will be redshirting. He had a conversation with Brad Underwood and thought that this would be a great year for a development year. And Sonny and I talked about it last night, where Ty can be one of the better players on this Illini basketball roster, or be a guy that is going to be playing minimal time. This was a conversation we had with Dre Gibbs Lahorn and Ty Rodgers. Those two guys were part of the process that you really thought. You had KJ, you had Will Riley, you had Kylan Boswell, and then you start to play the minutes game, and the minutes game diminishes pretty quickly on where you think Ty Rodgers will be in the rotation. And I don't think Ty Rodgers wanted to waste a year of college basketball where he's riding the bench. So now this redshirt year offers him an opportunity to play for a different team next year and in the upcoming years. So we have a comment from Sonny that says, I love Ty, but the 3 spot was something to keep an eye on. When it comes to minute balance, this gives Trey White and Will Riley the opportunity to play more. Absolutely, Sonny. And you also have to think of it this way. Morris Johnson is a member of the Illini, a great defender, a guy that I think can score a little bit after a little bit of offensive development. But you cannot have Ty Rodgers and Morris Johnson on the floor together. I don't think that's possible in the world of college basketball today. You need offense, and more offense in college basketball today. And I think having both of those guys on the roster together leads to some time opportunities that are going to get crunched to somebody. And it looks like that Ty Rodgers was a member of that time crunch. And this is the way of the new world of college basketball, folks, where guys that you think are pretty talented are going to redshirt. Guys that you think are talented that are play won't play. This is the new world order of Illini basketball when you have one and done style talents in KJ and Will Riley, and then Trey White. I mean, if you follow Derek Piper and Illini Inquirer, then my goodness, you knew what Trey White can accomplish this year. I predicted him to be the leading scorer on this Illini basketball roster. I know that's crazy to some, but that's firmly what I believe. So, if you're just now joining us, this is Illini Cast, part of the Armchair Illini Network. Follow Armchair Illini for all written works on Illini basketball and football. They'll have a article about Ty Rodgers entering the redshirt realm, and they'll have articles about this EIU and Illinois game. And also follow Illini Cast, as you'll have breaking news specials like this whenever they do arise. And my goodness, in Illinois sports, it seems to be once a week. But yes, Ty Rodgers is redshirting this year. It does make you sad because he was the prototypical everyday guy. He was a guy that you just knew was going to be on that number one offensive player that the other team had, and you knew that he was going to give them hell for 40 minutes. And now you don't have that. So it's going to be up to KJ. It's going to be up to Will Riley. It's going to be up to Tomislav Ivicic to be a rim protector. It's going to be up to Morez Johnson to prove that he can be a top tier defender in game number one for this Illini basketball team, and it's going to be up to Kylan Boswell to showcase that he deserves all of this playing time because this is going to be a roster crunch now. There's a lot of depth on this roster, but you don't have a lot of experience. You have Trey White now and you have Ben Hummerkaus as your two guys with the most experience in college basketball, alongside Kylan Boswell and Trey White. So this is going to be fascinating to see what the result is of Ty Rodgers. When does he enter the transfer portal? Is it going to be after this year? Is it going to be at the semester mark? He was a Tim Anderson guy as well. Sonny mentioned that last night, that he was a Tim Anderson guy through and through and through, and maybe this is part of him not liking that Tim Anderson's not on this Illini basketball staff anymore. So Ty Rodgers, he's going to have options, folks. He's a great player. I can see him going to a place like Purdue and thriving and being that defender, that Purdue-style Big Ten defender. I can see him going to Kansas State to be with Chester Frazier, or not Kansas State, West Virginia, and be with Chester Frazier. So Ty Rodgers is going to have some options. So it's going to be up to this Illini team to prove that they are great defensively this season with the loss of Ty Rodgers. Never a dull moment, folks, in Illini basketball. This is a situation where you thought you had the roster set. You thought you knew who this Illini team was going to be, even with all the mystery of it all. And yet, here we are. A guy that was on the NCAA tournament teams, a guy that embodied Brad Underwood's spirit. He is now redshirting this season. So follow along to IlliniCast for more information on this, and as we recap these Illini basketball games, and follow Armchair Illini for written works on this particular subject of Ty Rodgers redshirting, and a game review of Illinois and EIU coming up here at 7 o'clock on Big Ten Network Plus. So that's the news. Ty Rodgers entering the redshirt realm. I don't know why I keep saying entering, but he is redshirting, and more than likely he will be entering the transfer portal. Not a lot of times, not a lot of time, not a lot of times whenever you have a guy enter the redshirt realm, does he stick around. He is going to be transferring out. Sincere Harris is the perfect example of that last year, where he was, yes, a great team player. He's going to make these other guys better in practices, but he will not be on the basketball court next year for the Illini. He is going to probably be playing elsewhere in the world of college basketball. This has been the IlliniCast, part of the Armchair Illini Network, and like, share, and subscribe whenever you watch this. If you're watching this live, thank you, and whenever you watch it later, follow us, like us, share us, and it'll be me and Sonny and possibly the Armchair Illini guys after the EIU game. Thank you. ILL, I and I.